Can a cluster be a borderline or a narcissist? Can they love you? Hi, this is Mike. This is the One Thing That Can Heal BPD and NPD Abuse channel. And I've just finished a recent book. First one I've written on this subject, How I Survived My Borderline Girlfriend. You can find it on Amazon and Kindle, and it will be soon up in Audible, probably in the next week or so. And you can find that at audiobooks.thunderwizard.com. So this is a great question. Can a borderline or a narcissist love you? If you are asking that question, or if you have asked that question, it means you don't understand what love is. It means that your definition of love is inaccurate and has been your whole life. It means that you feel the need to be loved by a narcissist. Let me repeat myself. If you ever ask the question, can a borderline or a narcissist love you? Or did my borderline once love me? Or did my narcissist ever love me? Or does my narcissist regret losing me? If any of these thoughts or questions come up in your mind, it means that you have never known what love is, and you actually want to be loved by a mentally ill person. It means you don't want to be loved by a normal person. I'll explain why. To ask the question, can a narcissist love you? Can a borderline love you? You are focused on a feeling. Now, the way that even psychological medicine looks at this issue shows, again, a complete misunderstanding of what's going on and a complete misunderstanding of love. Because love is not a feeling. Do I need to repeat myself? Love is not a feeling. This is why borderlines get very upset with me when I say that borderlines are narcissistic, that they're sociopathic, that they're psychopathic. They get very upset when I remind people that according to many psychologists and psychiatrists, that borderline personality disorder is simply a subset of narcissistic personality disorder. That when you say somebody suffers from narcissistic personality disorder, underneath that umbrella is borderline personality disorder. Borderlines hate that because borderlines have an intense experience of feeling what they interpret to be love. Now, if you are asking this question, can a borderline love me? If you ask that question, it means that you also misinterpret what love is. You not only misinterpret other people's feelings and experiences as love, but you also misinterpret your feelings for them as love. It means, again, as I said, if you ask that question, it means that you want to be loved by a narcissist or a sociopath. So bear with me on this. Again, I know the feeling whenever I see that question. Can a sociopath love you? Can a narcissist love you? Whenever I see that question, or whenever I see somebody write the question, did my borderline ex ever really love me? I feel the pain. I can feel your pain. Why? Because I used to ask those same questions. So let's not kid ourselves. You're not asking this question because you're curious. I wonder if Jeffrey Dahmer ever had the ability to love somebody. It's not something that you're just curious about. You want to know, is it possible to get your borderline or your narcissist to love you? You are still deluded with the obsession that there's something you can do that will flip a switch inside of them that will make them have that intense feeling for you that you have for them. Now, your assumption is, again, it's magical thinking. Asking the question, does my borderline love me? Does the borderline have the ability to love? Is my borderline now in love with that other person? Did she ever love me? No. Well, is she in love with that other guy? If you ask any question along these lines, it means that you have magical thinking. It means that you do not take any responsibility for your feelings. You are out of control. The feelings that you confuse for love for your borderline, your narcissist, you honestly believe that you feel intense, unconditional love. You may even describe yourself as a super empath. And you want your borderline or your narcissist to become infected with that kind of obsessive feeling. You want them to not be able to control their actions. You want them, even though you know that they're sociopathic, psychopathic, narcissistic, you know that they're incredibly selfish and grandiose and completely self-absorbed. But if you can direct that self-absorbed aspect into loving you, that's what you want. You want your borderline girlfriend who looks at you like this the next morning and doesn't know who the hell you are. You want her to be overwhelmed with an uncontrollable feeling of needing and wanting you, and you will call that love. Why? Because that's how you feel. So let's talk about what love is. First off, let me answer the question. The question, can a borderline or narcissist love you? The answer to that question has to be yes. Oh my God, now you're in hell, right? Oh my God, my borderline or narcissist can love me? Oh no, how will I get through the day without trying to figure out how to make them love me? Well, that doesn't mean they will. In fact, 99.99999999999.999% statistically, they will not ever, ever, ever love you. Because love is not a feeling. Love is an action. In fact, true love has very little to do with feelings. It's great if you take loving actions and you have really gushy, loving feelings following, behind those feelings. Great. Nothing better in the world. But it is completely unnecessary to take loving actions and have any feeling whatsoever. In fact, somebody who truly loves you is somebody who has the consciousness to know that what is important is going to be the effect of their actions on you. That's going to be the most important thing. In fact, you can have somebody who has zero emotional feeling or response to you whatsoever, as long as they have the ability to go, this action is going to be helpful and constructive and healing and nurturing to that person. Now, the reason why narcissists and borderlines don't do that is because in order to have that, you have to be able to be in a place where you have no agenda. You are unconditionally loving somebody. I'll give you an example. I've probably shared about this before, but I had a girlfriend way back when I first got into college who I didn't realize what the hell I was doing, but if I could go back in time, I would have said that was the absolute perfect, appropriate response to that person. So this girlfriend, we'd been dating for a while and I was having a great time. I really liked her. I was feeling a lot of connection with her. I thought things were great. I was a typical 18-year-old guy, so I wasn't all that great at knowing when to give cards and, leave. I mean, I was kind of stupid when it, came to knowing what, a heterosexual woman is going to want from me. But in terms of me liking her and being in the relationship, and I felt great. And if I had known, if somebody had come to me and explained to me, hey, you know what, just give her flowers every, week or two, give her a card every now and then, I would have gone, oh, they like that? Oh, okay, I'll do that. I didn't know. I was an idiot. In any case, she came to me, I don't know, probably 2 or 3 weeks into the relationship, and she sat me down and she said, my ex-boyfriend, he used to call me in the morning. I'd wake up to him and he'd call me in the morning. I would I'd open my dorm room door to get ready for my day in my first class, and there would be a flower with a note on it. And she would tell me all these things that he was doing. And I'm sitting there listening, going, okay, why are we talking about your ex-boyfriend? And then she said, so what is it that I'm asking from you? And she was so full of herself when she said it. She was so full of feeling. She says, what is it that I'm asking for you? I guess what I'm asking for is unconditional love. And I immediately went, okay, so I'm being judged on what I do, not by who I am. And I can't meet this standard you're giving to me. I felt so devalued, and I felt so unloved and unappreciated and unseen. And I immediately said, I think we should break up. She went, what? She couldn't believe I'd said that. I said, yeah, we're not going to work out. I think we need to break up. Looking back on it, I think that was the best thing I could have said, because she was equating unconditional love with me doing everything she wanted. She equated unconditional love with wanting to do everything in my power to get her to be happy. There was no two ways. There wasn't her, what she could do for me, what I could do for her, none of that. So you think unconditional love is the same. You think unconditional love means somebody meeting all of your needs and all of your desires whenever you want. And by the way, so does your borderline girlfriend, as you are well aware. She not only wants you to meet all of her needs and all of her desires, she wants you to completely change it tomorrow if she goes to the complete other side of the thing. Even if that means I don't want you around. I want you to go away for 6 weeks while I go and screw your cousin in Vegas. And then I want you to be there when I'm ready to come back to you. I want you to love me unconditionally. So you have a wrong understanding of love. Love is not a feeling. Borderlines get upset when I say that borderlines are a subset of narcissistic personality disorder, and they go, I am not an NPD. NPDs don't have any empathy. I'm full of empathy. In fact, I care so much, it's really hard on me. But all of that ability to care doesn't prevent you from doing the most psychopathic, destructive thing that is the definition of borderline personality disorder, which is to, on the drop of a hat, completely discard the other person based on your feeling in the moment. You think, if you're a borderline and you get upset at the idea of me telling you that you're a sociopath, a psychopath, a narcissist, you get upset because you will say to me, no, 90% of the time, I'll give you benefit of the doubt. 95% of the time, I am the most loving person you've ever known. So you should give me a pass. You should judge me on the amount of time I feel loving for you, and just don't pay any attention to that 5% where I slash your tires and go and sleep with your asshole cousin in Vegas and completely destroy and defame you and steal all your money and whatever else you do when you discard somebody. But what you don't understand is that that has nothing to do with love, because love is the consciousness that says, yeah, holy crap, yesterday I couldn't get enough of this person, and right now I just want them to die. I want them to go away. I don't have any feelings for them whatsoever. In fact, I feel really encroached. I can't stand that you're in my space. I don't like the way you look. I don't like the way you smell. You offend every fiber in my being. Love is when you have that feeling and you have the awareness to go, yeah, but I just spent, a month telling this person how much I love them. And if I were to act on this feeling right now, this would be really damaging and destroying. It would make me feel better in the moment, but it would hurt them. It might even really devastate them. And I actually want this person to be happy, even though right now I'm not feeling anything towards them. That's love. Can a borderline do that? It would be technically inaccurate for me to say no, they can't. Will they? Probably not. Almost certainly they won't be able to. In fact, if you read my book, How I Survived My Borderline Girlfriend, you will know that if you are with a borderline, unless they have been in therapy for at least 10 years, and unless during that 10 years, the thing they want more than anything else is to achieve recovery for themselves. If you have not been if she has not been in 10 years of therapy, intensely working on herself, then it is almost guaranteed that what will happen is eventually she will go through a cycle of love bombing, discarding, hoovering, discarding, hoovering, discarding, hoovering, discarding, hoovering, discarding, until finally she gets to what I call the final discard. And when she gets to the final discard, she will destroy you. This may take, by the way, this may take decades. So those of you who say, you have no idea what you're talking about. I've been with my borderline girlfriend for 2 years, and yes, she has problems, but you have no idea. Well, come and talk to me in 10 years, if I'm still alive. Come and talk to me in 20 years, assuming you're still together. Guaranteed, what will happen is that you will get a final discard from your borderline, and it will be the worst, most unimaginable, devaluing, painful experience you've ever had in your life. So, if you want to understand what is really going on with you, what is really going on with your borderline girlfriend, I invite you to go check out my new book, How I Survived My Borderline Girlfriend by Michael William Denny. You can find it on Amazon and Kindle. It will soon be up on audiobooks. My next video, I'll talk to you again about why the final discard is unavoidable if you're dating an untreated, undiagnosed borderline.